Yeah, what's up, YouTube? Basically, what I put together about Tiffany and the whole reason why she did everything that she did from start to finish. You got to understand, we were together for 12 years, right? So she only worked maybe two, maybe 2 years out of that whole time. Right. I worked 11 and a half years out of that. So, how is it that that's not what she was doing? Was trying to find somebody that was low on status, act like she was building with them, and then cause problems in between, and then turn around and try to take it and blame it on them. Because that's exactly what went down. She wanted people to believe that the reason why she was promiscuous is because we would fight and I was abusive and this and that and the other. I have plenty of audio, video, and text messages that say the other from her mouth only, without being asked, prompted, anything. She does it on her own. That's what I mean. She was feeding me a different line than what she was feeding other people. Yeah, some things she said, some things she didn't. She just left it up for people to assume because that's another way she works. Because later on, if they figure out what she did and try and bring it to her face, she can say, "Well, I didn't say that, so I'm not responsible for you assuming this or this." Or blah, 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 blah. You see what I mean? Yes, you are responsible because you're the one that's doing the act that starts all the assumptions and the things going on to begin with. None of that would have ever taken place or be seen if it wasn't happening. Fucking ridiculous how people try to manipulate like that. Yeah, the thing with hiding the admissions paper, um, she's swearing up and down that she wants to be together, no problems, just get away from Rising Sun and start a family. And she wants marriage, kids, all this stuff. And we start working towards it, and she's sabotaging it. Now, I know that raises questions. People, there was nothing going on other than the crazy stuff that she kept doing. And at first, I was very nice and calm and cool about everything and getting promised that it was just a mistake and it would never happen again and blah, blah, blah. The same thing that F boys do every time they use their silver tongue to get what they want and then get caught doing their dumb shit. This time, it's a female. Now, she had tried multiple times to get me hemmed up with doing things behind my back and always played it off as, it wasn't her or, it was an accident or she just forgot or blah, blah, blah. Kind of ironic that it just keeps happening with other scenarios, like with other situations in life further on, when supposedly this was a mistake, you didn't mean to do it, you didn't even know you did it, but you're still doing things to try and set me up. Yeah, she racked up a $9,000 electric bill. And I know what people are going to say. Well, why didn't you? I wasn't there. She was the one that handled all the bills. I'm the one that gave her half my paycheck and asked her what she wanted me to handle. If she said, cover the cable and electric so I can cover this and this and we both have money, that's what we did. Uh, that was it. After a while, we never had any problems with the cable or the electric or anything like that being shut off. So was under the impression, which that's where I was young and naive, I was trusting her when she already showed she couldn't be trusted. But that's what we were working on, trust. And this is how she got me. Like I said, benefit of the doubt. And I was so busy, and she would do the love bombing thing, us goofing off watching movies, having Nerf battles, some of that's a lot of that stuff I came up with, but she was just in that mood to where it was easy to be like, all right, let's go do something like this or do something like that. Sometimes she was in moods where you couldn't even talk to her, and it was just out of the blue. And I don't know if she was talking to somebody on her phone, on the internet, just didn't want me to know, so she was acting like she was in a mood. I don't know. It's very possible. But I'm just saying, all these things are the things she would do. And if I would go to work, oh my gosh, I was the worst person in the world. At first, I was the greatest. I was Superman because everything was being taken care of, blah, 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 blah. After that, man, I was a piece of shit because I was barely ever home. Then I fixed that problem because I started becoming percentage. I got my insurance. I went back to being a business. I only sat it down for maybe a year, but I was still doing it on the side, with other companies. I just wasn't doing it for myself. And she got pissed off at that because she was like, well, you make more money by yourself. I said, I know. I make more money with my uncle too. I don't want to talk about that. Of course not, because that's where my money is. Yeah, that's the whole reason at first we moved to Joppatown when David was little, because it was closer to my job. I mean, I literally was 10 minutes from the warehouse. Uncle John could snag me at the end of my driveway. She had a vehicle she could ride and do the things that she wanted to do with David throughout the day. Never did it. Completely and deliberately did things against the rules. Like, David was on a perfect sleep schedule. Everybody knows kids, you got to have them on a sleep schedule. And she deliberately started letting him take like 3 and 4 naps throughout the day while I was at work, just so he would be up all night running around, so it would upset the neighbor underneath. And I mean, the rules are right there every time you open the broom closet, so it's not like you can forget them. And she knew it. And that's what I mean. She deliberately did things to piss people off and then tried to act innocent about it. No. She had a tax return that she didn't tell me about, which all she had to do was tell me, hey, I got this tax return and I'd like to keep it. I would have been like, cool, keep it. But that's not what she did. She didn't tell me about it. She tried to hide it. Then she started a false fight, as in argument out of the blue, which she knows we can't be fighting there, which we never really fought like that. Even when we had disagreements, when we called it a fight or a disagreement, it was just us talking and we didn't agree. People think it's like, what's all? No. Or a big blowout. No, that's what she tried to make people believe some of them were, because that's what their mind went to. And I watched her do that. And I started laughing and said, no, that's not the way it went at all. And that was just with one incident. So I don't know how many other incidents she's gotten away with making people believe that we were arguing like that. We weren't. It was very calm. There was no yelling, there was no raising the voice. And she knew that. That's one thing she liked. I mean, I even have a recording of her saying it. And it was after she left here in 2016. Or, sorry, 2017, June. But yeah, I was stupid. I was just trying to hang on to my last relationship. And it just happened to be that this woman really had a very, very screwed up plan. And I really didn't put all of that together until I started putting together what happened with the kids and started linking, what was going on with David. And then it linked to, showing me that, hey, man, she was setting you up the whole time. And there was plenty of times that, dude, the only reason why you're setting me up is because you got caught cheating and you're mad about it. Just like when we broke up this time, you were mad because we broke up. You tried to say something in front of your friends, in front of the kids, saying that I stole your phone and your SIM card and all. No, I didn't. You took my phone and tried to hide it from me. And then I told you, if you're leaving, I need that phone that you have. You asked me if you could have the SIM card. I said, yes, I will take it out for you. And I took it out and gave it to you. Nobody stole anybody's phone but you. And you are pissed off because there was nothing in that phone that you could use. What I found in your phone the moment you gave it to me and said that I am never hiding anything from you, here you go. I found all kinds of shit. I even screenshotted it and talked to the people that you were involved with. And showed Facebook what you were doing. Yeah, February 27th. I remember it. 2017. Yep. And that wasn't the first time. Then I found out that your friends that we had been going over to and hanging out with for years are swingers, and that's why you were going over there. Even though they were married. You never told me the part about them being swingers. You wanted me to believe that they were a happy married couple, normal, not doing that kind of stuff. Then the dude slipped up and told me exactly what he does to mess around with other women. And that is to invite them over with their boyfriends so he can keep an eye on the kids while they go on so-called walks. And that's when they do their thing. Really? You know how many years you've been going on walks with these people and I've been watching all the kids? What, did he think I wasn't going to make that connection? So you've been doing this playing shit behind my back the whole time we met. So that would mean the fact that you were hunting me down and stalking me in the beginning meant that you had some type of plan. What's the matter? My brother, which was older than me and you were messing with, which is another reason why you were told no. I've never messed with a girl that he's dated like that. I'm not like him. And I told you I didn't want people to believe that that's why me and you would ever end up dating. And look at that. They still believe that. Imagine that. All the shit I wanted to stay away from. I made it very clear that that is not why I even thought about giving you a chance. The reason why I did is because you made me feel bad. It had nothing to do with any of that shit. I didn't want anything to do with your crazy ass, and I told you that multiple times. Over 30. I know it was over 30. 30 is probably a very, very low number to the real actual number because I remember telling you, Rachel, and Becca multiple times, leave me alone. Yeah, Rachel was dating Dale. That was Dale's girlfriend. She was the one that told me about you and Jake messing around after we got together. And you tried to lie about that. And you thought I didn't know. I already knew before she even told me. But she verified it because all the text messages she showed me. And Tiff's trying to, oh, well, that was her talking to Corey. No, it wasn't. And even if it was, then I'm showing Dale. I mean, what the hell? What are we just running around cheating on people here? After our talk and everything I told you I've been through and I don't want to deal with that dumb shit? She gonna be like, oh, I ain't like that, and then be out there cheating. What the fuck? Yeah, but I was the problem. No, Blondie, you were the problem the whole time. You were never an innocent girl, and you know it.